So there's a reason why you're here today. And I'm guessing that in some way you want to be closer to reality and to experience. What is it to experience reality? And what I've been discovering is that speaking from the mind has become such a common place to be that most of the people are doing it most of the time without even realizing it. And today I'd like to go on this journey with you to come closer to what is, and for you to get the experience of speaking from reality and what is right now. And that comes from being present, first of all, in your physical body. And you're having an experience right at this moment while I'm speaking with you. And maybe you are cold, or you're not sitting comfortably and you have a pain in your lower back. Or maybe the screen has an intense light and you're having an experience in your eyes, but it's so subtle that you're not acknowledging it. And so right now, connect with that. Connect with your physical body and to the experience that your physical body is having right now. And you do it by bringing your attention to your physical body. And you don't need to bring all of your attention. You can put a part of your attention in your physical body and another part of your attention in my voice. And still, you can be present. And so, is there a sensation that is happening right now that you notice that you are ignoring, or that you were ignoring before you brought your attention to your physical body? You're muted, Leslie.
Tension here.
Okay. And what is the tension telling you to do?
I can't hear it.
Okay. Anyone else has noticed something that your body is experiencing, your physical body, and you are not paying attention?
My body's tired. I want to lie down.
Okay. How is that tiredness expressing itself in your physical body?
Like a heaviness in like my chest and my arms.
And do you notice something else happening right now? Leslie, I'm gonna mute you again. There's a noise coming from the outside. Okay?
I notice that I'm also thirsty. And I notice I'm a little hot. So,
And you weren't aware of that.
yes, I'm very hot. I'm gonna turn on the fan.
Okay. So we will be practicing this in the breakout rooms. So we'll go into breakout rooms in pairs and focus solely on what is happening in your physical body. And name it without attaching stories. That will be the practice. So you'll be experiencing, let me check. I have this sensation of there's a tightness in my lower back. And a story could be, I have an inflammation in my lower back. I have no way of knowing that right now. It's the sensation, the experience is the tightness. So to every experience that you notice, you are going to speak from it without attaching a story. You just say what is right now. Do you have any questions about this, about the practice?
About the time, how long each one goes.
Okay, 5 minutes each person, and I will send the message to the breakout rooms. Okay? Okay.
Is this any better, Sonia?
Yes, it's better. Okay. I've noticed that in your experience right now, you haven't spoken about your being sleepy.
Yeah, I said I'm tired, not that I'm sleepy. I don't actually feel that sleepy. I've been yawning, but I don't feel sleepy.
Okay.
I feel relaxed.
Okay. So you said, so this is interesting because you use the word tired to describe your experience. And now you're realizing that you are relaxed. So
Yeah.
what changed? What was the difference?
I think my body is tired and I am relaxed, but I'm not sleepy. For me, the tired and sleepy are different. The sleepy is like I want to sleep right now, and tired would be I want to lie down, but not necessarily to sleep.
And the relaxed?
Relaxed is the relaxed goes with the tiredness for me. Yeah, just like this kind of heavy sensation in my body.
So even feeling relaxed, being relaxed is a story. What does that mean? So we use different words to describe an experience, and actually we're not speaking about the experience because they can mean a lot of things. For example, the word relaxed or tired. What does tired really mean? And for some people is I want to sleep. And just now Hannah said, no, tired is I want to lay down, but I don't want to sleep. But for example, the first thing that I thought when I asked you the question, Hannah, was you are sleepy. Because for me, tired means, oh, I need to sleep. And so there's a way that words are used to pack the experience without actually speaking from the experience. They are vague and abstract, and somehow the richness of the experience gets lost in these words. So one of the things that I've noticed while I was doing the practice was that I was focusing on problems. Where is the problem in my physical body? Oh, I have a tightness here, I have a tightness there, and almost all of them had this charge of there's something wrong with me. And even if I was not using the words, the charge was there. And suddenly I realized it, and I thought, well, but I'm sitting on a chair. My physical body is experiencing the chair. And so I brought my attention to that, and then to my feet that were touching the floor. And there was a shift in what I was feeling and the place from where I was also speaking. And somehow, the first part, I was putting myself into a victim place. And then in the second, I was more connected to the place where I am. Well, I'm sitting in this chair and it's kind of humid and my feet are just touching the floor. And that's what is right now. So even without saying the story out loud, the story is there, hiding in plain sight. And it connects to feelings and emotions. Because in this case, it was triggering the sadness in me. Oh, I have this pain here, that pain there. And when I shift, I started experiencing joy. And even just by speaking from what was going on with me and noticing the stories that I was telling myself about my feet. So did any of you notice something about your experience during this practice, or do you have any questions about it?
It's like a similar thing that you're describing about first focusing on something wrong with, like what was wrong, and to me was what was lacking. Like and Nicole pointed out, like even if I was trying to describe the sensation of not breathing like deeply, it was like I was going all into the words like I don't have like my lungs doesn't fill up completely, and I don't feel anything inside my body, like it's hollow. Even like trying to describe what it was, I was going through all that was lacking in me. And I was even like having a hard time finding the words in English, so I tried to paint a picture, but it was already like a story about probably what was lacking compared to what it was supposed to be, kind of unconsciously supposed to be to me.
Okay, so you were, while you were describing the experience, you had this other image of how things should be.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because for example, on the air, so it's supposed to be breathing better. You're not supposed not to breathe. And because I was noticing I was breathing very short. I was like trying to do the breathing, but it was still short. And that would come from that. It's supposed to breathe like this way.
But how do you know that there's another way? How do we, yeah, where does that come from?
In my case, this is the previous story, like previous beliefs. So then for me, like I practiced like yoga many years, so it's all about the breathing. So that is the role model, like like this.
So it seems that, so the experience is contaminated by an image of how it should be that is coming from yoga in this case.
Yes.
Okay. And were you able to shift?
No.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else?
I notice now I'm feeling like closing my eyes and going to sleep. And this happened just a couple hours ago in the other space. And yeah, I mean, there's definitely a should, which is I should be awake for this. I want to be awake for this. And in the other space, it was a EHP dojo. The person holding space said, go sleep. Just stop the EHP near the beginning and said, just do that. And some part of me wants to do that right now, but I don't want to do that.
Okay, so you see how the charge of whatever story you have about feeling sleepy right now makes that your experience goes is bigger, gets bigger, or gets a different dimension from just being in the now and you feeling, well, okay, I'm sleepy.
Yeah, it becomes like a boulder going downhill. There isn't really a way out or a way to turn it around.
Okay, I'm noticing, well, several faces here, including my own, with this tiredness, with this, because I've been experiencing the sleepiness, and I was wondering what is happening, what is the experience of the that is happening in the body, and also the stories.
I was noticing what are you laughing about?
Hannah just yawned. She gave this big yawn. Yes, go ahead.
Well, just with, I was paired with Katerina, and I was pointing, like Juliana said, to all the tension and all the crackles in my body, and um, I don't remember that I was feeling tired before that. I might have been, but yeah, maybe there was some kind of feeling like, oh, I'm feeling tired and I shouldn't be. It's a lack of awakeness.
Okay, so let's try that something right now. So there's the story that is focusing on the problem and the experience. What other story could you be telling about the experience that you're having right now? A story that empowers you, that serves you.
Something that comes for me is that when I was doing what comes is, when I notice physical sensations and don't add a story to that, what the mostly what happened for me was I would come to notice that I had a tension that I hadn't noticed before. And as soon as I noticed it, it would just drop.
The,
And
the tension?
yeah.
Okay.
And as I kept noticing and scanning for what else I would notice, a few more tensions came to my attention. And as soon as they did, I, I, the tension just dropped. Like it was like the noticing kind of seemed to cancel it or something. And I became more and more, well, less and less tense. And it was just about my physical body. And there was only once where when I noticed this heaviness in my eyes, that there was a feeling. And I have the story that the tension was coming from here.
Mm.
And that when I noticed it, it was like a tiny little completion loop almost. And it was gone. And when I noticed the sadness and the heaviness, it also, went away, not all the way, but a little bit.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, so I have the next practice. Do you all have a scarf? Okay, so the next practice is you'll be going again to breakout rooms, and the person that has the scarf will be the space holder, the one you'll be putting the scarf around your eyes, and you are the space holder. And the person that does not have the scarf, you will be speaking from your feelings. And in this case, the space holder is the one that is doing the experiment. And the experiment is to notice what is happening in you while the person is speaking. And you will be continuously giving feedback and coaching from your experience. That is not coming from your blindfolded eyes. It will be coming from somewhere else. And for this, you will need to split your attention between your physical body and your emotional body and the person that is speaking. And so in the person that is speaking, just speak from your feelings, connect with your feelings. And there's a point just in the place of your heart chakra. Connect with that point and speak from there, but from the inside of your body, as if you're leaning from the inside to this point. Do you have any questions about the practice?
Yeah, you said the blindfolded person is giving feedback and coaching to the person who's speaking from their feelings.
Yes.
About what? Just
If they are feeling, if they are not feeling, and you'll be noticing your sensations. How are they showing up for you, and what impulses are you having? Is this person speaking from their experience right now, or are they speaking from verbal reality?
okay.
Okay. And again, around 5 minutes each person. And I will put us into groups of 3. I think this will work better. And there will be someone giving feedback, a coach giving feedback and coaching to the coach. So if you notice that the person that has the scarf is not speaking, is avoiding feeling or speaking from their experience, you say it. Okay? Okay. Okay, I will see you in 10 minutes.
Isn't it 15 to rotate?
Who spoke? Did you speak? Yes.
Yeah, it's 15 minutes because it's 3 people.
Yeah, it's 5 minutes per person. Okay, discoveries. How was it to be blindfolded, giving feedback and coaching to someone?
For me, I really noticed this shift because when I'm holding space and I'm using the scanner, I tend to like rely a lot on my eyes and realize that now. And I do a lot of like body scanning. And now that in the beginning I didn't have that, I was like, shit, like like, what do I do now? And so in the beginning, I was still a little kind of trying to use my fear to perceive it, but a little like, oh my god, when now, like on the ads, and then I really just noticed this shift. It's like something just like open up, like, and it to me the experience of like really trusting it, not so much like the right is wrong, and am I doing it? I'm not doing it. It's like okay, like use what comes and see how it goes, and that sort of opens the space of fear, and then and actually hearing like what is happening, and it's just the same scanner but without the eyes. I was perceiving what it was happening.
Would you, I'm really curious about what happens when you are using the eyes to scan.
Yeah.
So what are you doing when you use the eyes to scan?
Well, I use my gremlin a lot to scan. Like my gremlin can really perceive other gremlins' movements, and I guess that's what I'm doing with the body. Like I can like notice it's like any like movements of like tension and like the throat and whatever is happening. It's like I'm catching the movement of the other gremlin, like that it's activating the reaction. Like I have to research more about that. Like I never noticed that I was using so much the eyes for that. But yeah, it's like the parts of the person is not noticed, and I can really tell gremlin face reaction. So that is what I'm using the eyes more about gremlin.
Okay, thank you. Nicole, you seem like you have something.
I have this story that because of doing the the body noticing so much, that once I had the blindfold on, I was noticing from more my experience of my whole body as the thing that picks up the other person. And I loved it. And I, I, yeah, I felt some sadness there because I thought of my son. My son is newly blind, I mean, for 2 years now almost. And I've been really seeing him as a victim, and having this blindfolded experience, I started to, my experience of being blindfolded, it was, it helped me drop out of my head about analyzing or thinking or making stories about what was going on with the person, because I was sensing for something else than how they looked. And I was more radically relying on my feelings and my like physical sensations, and some of them seemed energetic, maybe not physical, not emotional, but it was like I was picking up, I'm going to say, like I was picking up something more real than what my stories would be giving me.
So one thing that you could experiment next time you see him is to be blindfolded with him and tell him, I am doing this and I'm staying that's how I've been talking with you. And you see what happens.
Yeah.
You're feeling something.
Yeah, I feel joy about that. It's like there's this possibility to have an adventure with him.
Will he let us know if you do that, how it goes?
Yes, and I feel sad because the next time we would be together would be, I don't know when that will be. And I feel glad to feel my sadness about like not having a plan to see him. This is, I've been missing. Thank you.
You're welcome. And you did not answer my question.
Will I do
Will
it?
you will
I
you
will
let us
tell.
know? Will you
Yes,
let us know? Okay.
I will let you know.
Okay. Thank you.
I just felt a lot of joy, Sonia, actually watching you scan with like the scarf over your eyes.
It
Just
was
like,
it's not really a scarf. It's like
yeah,
it's
big,
a shirt that I have. And at first it
yeah,
was kind of like this.
yeah, but like all around your eyes, and then yeah, just scanning and giving coaching and feedback. I was like, this is so cool. Like this is crazy. Like
Why say more about that? Like, you see you're having an experience right now. Take us along with you.
yeah. I was just like, this is so far out. Like it was a moment of like, what am I doing? Like where, like how did I get here? Like what is going on? Like if anyone else like walked into this Zoom meeting, they would be like, what on earth is going on here? And I feel happy about that.
And so is it about non-linearity? Is it what is it?
It's yeah, it's about like how just far out this research is.
Mm.
Yeah, I feel
Far out of what?
sorry,
Far out of what?
far out like beyond the mainstream, like beyond what is happening in modern culture. Like it's yeah, it's very yeah, it's just it has nothing to do with what's going on in modern culture, and I feel happy about that.
So did you notice the difference, all of you, between the first share that Hannah made and just now? It's like, did you notice the difference? Yes, no,
You mean the share she made when she was tired and sleepy?
no. I mean, she started by saying, I
Oh,
was
right.
really glad when I saw you with a scarf, no, no, no. And then you asked the question, Nicole, and a different sentence, a different sharing came from you, Hannah, which gave more information. It was so much clear what your joy had. And at first you were experiencing the joy, but you were just saying, oh, what would happen if someone would come into the room? It was like, this is crazy. But actually, your joy was because you are experiencing something that is not part of modern culture, and that is bringing you joy. And now the experience in the room now is like, oh, okay, it's like I feel closer, I'm closer. It's like I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I felt like a lot of joy, like hearing you, Hannah, and I had this similar experience of, to me, it was more like an expansion. This is possible, and I didn't felt like the pressure of that would be crazy if somebody, because that would be my box normally love. Like, what people would think, like, realize what we're doing here. And so I could feel like more space between my usual pressure and this, like, this is possible, and I wanted to stay more in it.
Can you say what's the this?
Stay more in this experience of, this is this experience of joy and experiment.
So again, it's something similar. It's you're putting you're cutting your experience by not saying what is really happening, and what you're experiencing experience is that you are expanding. You're experiencing joy and expansion because you are experimenting, and it is possible to experiment. That's your experience. That is coming from your joy. So what I notice is that the eyes, when I'm looking, my eyes are looking for evidence of failure. And it's like, oh, is this going well, the process? How is it going? How am I speaking? How is the person receiving what I'm speaking? And all this noise that's coming from the mind gets in the way. And one of the things that happened while I was blindfolded was that I did not have that pressure. There's a pressure when I'm using my eyes to speak. And when I'm not using my eyes, I don't experience that pressure because I'm not looking for the evidence. And I was able to go further with my scanning. I noticed that at some point Katarina was speaking from anger, and my experience was that there was something off, but I did not have words for it. And I stayed really present with the sensation that it's not working. What is it? What? It's like it's a spider sense. It's this. What is it? And then the words that came were, the anger that you're feeling is not matching the anger in your voice. And so bring it down. And that was new for me. So when I'm not using the sense, I come more to what I'm experiencing, to what is happening in the space, and I'm able to discover more layers to the experience. The experience unfolds itself, not in front of my eyes, but in front of my experience. So I'd like to roll the space to the next experiment, and I want to check if you have something else before doing so.
I have just a question. Is this space supposed to be ends in 10 minutes, or it's 2 hour space? I didn't check that before.
It's a 2-hour space. Okay, so do you have the fruit?
Yes.
So
Actually, have a tomato. It doesn't have fruit.
it's a fruit.
Fruit.
It's a fruit. Yeah.
Okay. So the experiment is you will be blindfolded again, and you will be picking up the fruit, and you are going to do everything very, very slowly. And with every movement, you are going to check what you are feeling and feel it. And then maybe you will peel it, or maybe you'll go straight ahead and you will bite it. And you will just eat the fruit very slowly. And the person that will be giving the feedback and coaching, you will be coaching the person to go back to the feelings and to slow down as much as possible and stay with the experience. You have any questions about this? Okay.
Wait, do we
Yes.
you with witness, like one person who's not blindfolded and not eating their fruit?
Yes.
Okay.
And yeah, and it will be like 3 minutes per person. No, I'll put us instead in pairs. I'd like it to be slower. So it would be 4 minutes per person and in pairs. Okay? Okay. There's a person missing. Oh, yes. Here she is. Okay. How was it?
I am so delighted with this fruit. Wow. I don't think I had so much delight eating for years. Like, wow.
And how did that happen?
Yeah, I was noticing it. I was not distracted, like eating and thinking something else or lots of things at the same time. I was just appreciating and smelling and sensing all the flavors and yeah.
Even your voice when you arrived and you started speaking was different.
I think I was in love with this bear. Amazed. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
An impulse that I have is that this could be your experience when you're holding space for someone or whatever it is you're doing in your life. You're just there with the person and you are delighting yourself. Because it seems that what is cutting the experience from what I've heard, Katarina, was that you would be elsewhere or thinking about something else. Is this accurate?
By eating the pear, yes. And to be with someone
Okay.
else, yes, probably lots of thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, crossing.
So who was with Katarina in the breakout room? Okay, can you describe, not describe, would you tell us about your experience?
Of watching her?
Yes, of being with her
Yes, of
in
being
your
with her
experience.
and including seeing her. Yeah, there was this, she was really taking her time and watching her fall. Yeah, it looked like she fell in love with the pear too. I fell in love with it and I'm thousands of miles away. Yeah,
Yeah.
she started glowing and there was a lot of movement like this where she was just kind of, I don't know, her whole body was and her voice, and she was started to make more sounds like slurping, and it was, and there was a little bit where she would go into her head and I was like, tell me about the sensations and the feelings, because she was making stories too, but the stories she was making were like beautiful stories to hear.
Okay. I noticed when I was doing the practice how much information comes when I'm present with the experience. So I had the package of cookies and the sound of the package of the was really disturbing to my energetic body, and my anger came up, and all of a sudden I had this thought of, well, but the sound is so small, like why would I even be upset about this? But I was, and I want to experiment more with this of noticing all the things I think are small that I'm not taking care because I have the story that they are not that big. Oh, this is not that big, or this is not that important. And very simple communication. So then I ate a cookie and the anger came up again. And the anger was that I had the headphones And as I was chewing the cookie, I could not listen if Anna would speak. And I did not want that to happen because I wanted to listen to what she was saying. But as soon as I said it, I was like, okay, I can, but I want to eat the cookie also. And then the time was up, but I was about to negotiate and say, well, will you wait until I finish eating and then you'll speak, because I want to hear what you have to say. And so many things, like so many simple things that I really want to bring it into a practice of negotiating intimacy from this experience of being with people and noticing what is it really that I want right now. And sometimes it's something as simple as, I really want to listen to what you have to say. Will you wait for a little while? So this was what I discovered from the experiment.
I had misunderstood the experiment and thought that the coach was the blindfolded one, and the person eating the fruit was not blindfolded. And it seemed to be meaningful anyway.
And what did you discover? So you tried a whole new experiment. How was that?
I suppose I pictured Juliana with a piece of fruit and getting ready to eat it. And then I was curious, I wanted to know what she was feeling before, just as she looked at it, and just as she was opening her mouth, and just as she bit in. And I don't know how it would have been different if I hadn't been blindfolded.
But how was it for you? Like, did you ask her questions?
Yeah, I asked her what the feeling was in each of those moments.
Are you having a feeling right now?
I'm afraid I'm doing it wrong. I don't have the right answers, and I don't get the point, or I'm not getting what you're trying to get at.
So that would be coming from your mind instead of your experience. You had an experience, and if you take all of that out, you made an experiment that, well, 4 other people here did not do. And so you tried something different. And would you bring us along with you? Like, what worked for you? What did not work? How was it like to listen to Juliana share your experience while you're not seeing it? What did you notice? And it's just about your experience.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what really matters.
I, I felt joy. I felt glad to be doing the exercise.
And did you notice where your impulses were coming from? Like, you wanted to know what was happening with her. Why was that?
Just to bring us both into the present moment, and slow everything down and have the experience together.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I wanna share that for me, and like trying the food, and I understood the same thing. Understood the same thing because I was the one blindfolded first, and I was like, okay, this is it, and I went with. Uh, but when it was my time to eat the fruit, I was not blindfolded, but I also closed my eyes to, uh, to the fruit. And the experience that I had, it's that me and Leslie was like really, it's like we're both having the fruit. That was the impression. Even the things she said, sometimes she said something even before I describe it, even before I like, knew I was chewing at that moment. And the experience for me of being with the sensations, it was really an experience of distinguishing feeling and low intensity. I could really,
Can you say that again? There's this thing in the sound. Just say the last part again, please.
for me, it was a distinction, a feeling, the feelings in low intention.
Intensity. Okay.
Yes. So I could tell like the anger, it was like the little anger just making the movement of the bite. And the fear when I felt like a little cold like in my teeth and
Mm-hmm.
and the joy when I felt like the taste like running down, good. And I think it was like the first time I really experienced like this distinction, this actually like in the moment, the little 1-2% I think of the pure feeling with what was happening.
And how did you get there? Was it that you had your eyes closed? What was it?
Like to me, it's really just about yes, the eyes closed because I was really just like to start with the sensations, really, to stay with physical sensation without going to the stories so much of oh this is good, this is bad, this is cold, this is whatever. It was more like okay, something touched here. What is that? Oh, that's like right away. It wasn't describing it slow, but it was like this is fear, and it's I want to bite. So it was really about making it slow and start with the sensation.
And would you
Without
say that? Yes, go.
yeah, without words. Start with the sensation first, and then let the words come.
And would you say that having your eyes closed helped you with that?
Yes.
Okay. I have one last experiment for 5 minutes just before closing the space. So we'll be doing it here in the main room. We will all have the blindfolds. And the experiment is you will follow the impulse to speak when it comes. It doesn't matter what it is. You're just going to go with the impulse. And you will not know who is going to speak, if someone is moving or not. You're just gonna jump to the impulse. Okay, I'm just going to put mine. Okay, I'm gonna put mine now. I will let you know when I'm ready. Okay, ready. Feeling joy.
The anger that I'm holding myself like tight in the body.
The other feeling.
Well, I feel a lot of joy that we are together and there's nothing to do. It's just staying here with each other.
I
I
feel a
noticed.
bit of fear. Yeah.
I noticed that I my fear starts to rise and I go in my head and then I feel mad that I'm in my head because I want to be in my experience. And then I open and yeah, just come back down.
I think I love being blindfolded. Maybe I'll do one of those darkness retreats. Where you're in-
I was just thinking about that. I was thinking, this is so fun. We could have a party and all be blindfolded and just speak whenever an impulse comes and just be with each other.
Oh yeah.
Or like about an entire session like this.
Yes.
a work talk, just a blindfolded work talk.
But both the work.
Mm.
Co-created blindfolded work talk. Just say whatever comes up.
Yeah,
Notice my
feel a bit
Yeah.
sad because I want to speak, to connect, and then comes this fear of saying some stupid thing, and yeah,
And go back to your body.
yeah. And I feel joy of listening to you laughing. Yeah, so great.
Feel a lot of joy because usually in a Zoom room, I'm scanning, like I might have something to say, but then I'm scanning like, okay, is someone else about to say something? Like when is kind of the appropriate time? And because I don't want to speak at the same time as someone else. And this is now I don't have to do that. I feel really happy. I just talk and then if we talk at the same time, it's fine. But I'm not like waiting. I'm not like holding back my impulse of like, oh, I have this thing I want to say and I just need to wait for a time when someone else isn't about to say something.
Yeah, and I noticed like the opposite pretty much, like trying to say and then this thing about this voice about am I saying at the right moment? And I noticed in my body like exactly movement that it does, like the compression that it does when it feels this fear. It's like my fear, it's jumping out to try to scan, and if something happens, like it contracts it back.
Mhm.
What I'm experiencing is the amount of love in the space. There's so much love. And I'm just, I'm glad that I'm just here. There's nothing to do. And time is up. I kind of enjoy this.
Like a pirate. It's a pirate look.
It
I feel like
is.
Yeah.
Okay, so any
Yeah.
last words for closing the space?
Thank you, Sonia, for this experience of falling in love with being blindfolded and not being able to see.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah, and
Sonia.
falling in love with
Thank you.
my body again, and with an apple as not just a source of food, but it's a source of smell and touch, and it can be such a beautiful, joyful experience to slow down and I, and all the possibilities that are coming about what could come from having these experiences here today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you, Sonia, and thank you, everybody.
Sonia.
thank
Oh,
you.
To
thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Ciao.